Hermantown Hawks are back in the Northland after starting their season, taking on some AA foes down in the city's area. To Mars Lake Arena we go with their pretty interesting horn. Marshall hosting the defending champs Hermantown in the first period 0-0 game. Toppers on a power play. Luke Schottenbauer, a.k.a. Shotzi Jr., finds Kai Melton in front of the net. Melton buries it. Toppers take an early 1-0 lead. You hear that horn? It stayed like that for a bit because in the first period, Sam Pollard was on one, denying shots left and right. Here denying Wyatt Carlson's sharp angle shot to keep the Toppers lead at a goal. He had 65 saves on the night, but the Hawks would eventually tie things up. Absolute snipe, top shelf above Pollard's right shoulder. Will Esterbrook's 1-1 game after one, and that tie only lasted 24 seconds. Matt Kaufman finds a familiar face, Josh Kaufman, in the slot to give the Hawks the lead. Then just a minute and a half later, River Freeman gives it off to Penn State commit Dallas View. View gets the rebound, chance to light the lamp. Hawks put 8 goals up in the second period and win 9-1. To the next rink we go, inside Heritage, where the visiting Rock Ridge Wolverines are taking on Dale Jargo and his Denfeld Hunters. First period, we've got a whole lot of traffic out in front, but somehow, some way, Tyler Stewart breaks past Wade Harstella for his first career goals. Denfeld takes it early, 1-0 lead. After a scoreless second, Rockridge found a rhythm in the final frame. Watson Walters goes top shelf, scoring their second goal just under 2 minutes after their first. And just like that, this game is all square at 2. But the Hunters said enough is enough as the captain strikes again. His second goal of the night. Hunters reclaim the lead 3-2. They go on to add 2 more, securing this victory 5-2 over the Wolverines. Heading over to Proctor, where the Rails hosted CEC starting in the first. Jay Stewart driving towards the net. He takes a shot, but Blake Imhoff makes the save to keep it a 0-0 game. On to the second period. Stewart passes it to Cooper Elena. Elena shot. He takes a shot, but Imhoff denies it again. Now just under 2 minutes left in the second. Carson with the K. Young holds the puck for a second, sends it to Lucas Ronner, shoots it right past 3 players, right into the net. Finally gets the Lumberjacks on the board. They go on to add 1 more to get the 2-0 win over the Rails. Now we still show